iDiski TV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiski Times on CO.za. That's Orlando Pirates 1, Mamelodi Sundowns 1. So lokho sicela ke kuThixo ba ngasikupha umdlalo kanjani. Manje dadlalile shem asinekile umdlalo. Sabona iSundowns ingena ku first half ingena idefend iPirates. Yaphinde yabuya iPirates yathi nithini? Ekhaya Orlando yaphendula iPirates uyavala ngapho uCardoso uthi sina one man nsala pha uDivine Lunga nsala nomnye. It was such a lovely game, and that's what we want in South African football, that you give us something to talk about, give us something to advertise. Well done to the players. You gave it your all, your best within the limitation of the tactics that your coaches asked for you to do. Well done to Evidence Machopa, well done to Arthur Sales, those kind of players. Well done to Cupido, well done to Sibili Bile, those kind of players as well. We talk about you nicely when you give us something nice. So thank you very much, guys. That was a lovely game. I really enjoyed it, especially that it was 1-1 in the end. Lindo Pep, without taking too much of your time, sir, what did you make of the game, sir?
Shop kunjani Mr. Nkewu?
Yes, sir.
Ngibulisa uTsongo, ngibulisa athama ukhohla, ngibulisa ubobzini, ngibulisa uJusta. Eshathi sishinzi inkomo sistrip imoto. A blockbuster of a match.
Yes, sir.
A very interesting first half.
Yeah, before you go into the game itself, like what is your feeling? At the end, were you like, what a game? Or were you like, this is disappointing? What was your takeaway from it?
Yeah, what a game, to be honest with you. A very exciting game. I think the fans made it a spectacle. Credit to both set of players. I think the Mamelodi Sundowns players as well as the Orlando Pirates players.
Absolutely.
I think they gave us a match, something to talk about. There's so many talking points, even from us, from an analysis perspective.
Absolutely.
I was listening to Junior also breaking it down as well. So there's so much even for me to speak about, to be honest with you, with regards to the game. But
congrats from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. Yeah. The Orlando Pirates starting lineup, that was a big talking point for us. We were like, okay, maybe now the influence is coming from the management to say, let's play our players. Because coming into this game for Pirates, it was like, why are you making so many changes? And now it's changed, reverting back to the Orlando Pirates, Yabo Mbata, Yabo Van Rooyen, Yabo Evidence Machopa. What did you think when you saw that starting lineup?
Yeah, Mr. Nkewu, there are three forensic moments that I saw in the game. And the first one is playing with Van Rooyen and Mbata. Obviously, you can speak about the match fitness. I don't think for me, even when, and credit to Mbata, because I think he played well. Dino struggled a little bit in the first half, but also that has to do with the match fitness. Dino has always been consistent in terms of performance. The second forensic moment would be the defensive abilities that Tito Maswangai. Why? You are giving the Orlando Pirates midfield in the first half the responsibility to 1v1. And for me, that was a disadvantage in the Orlando Pirates setup. The other thing was not picking up Usales. I feel that Usales was the wild card in Mamelodi Sundowns. Why? Because if you are going, is a wild card. Why, Mr. Nkewu, am I saying that? If Uzodlala 1v1 in midfield, Usales besaya inverter as a 10. There's a reason why Matthews also is always free on the ball. It's because of the three-man midfield.
Creating number.
Yes, by creating a number by coming inside. And Usales played an exceptional role in the first half, in my opinion. I think he was the difference maker in that Mamelodi Sundowns team in terms of penetration, because that's what you need sometimes, more especially in a team that keeps the ball. You need a team you need someone who has a penetrator, who's got a pass. A shy pass, Usales, Mr. Nkewu. He's got a pass that can open defense. But when you speak about the Mamelodi Sundowns as well, I think credit to Cupido, credit to Gran Kekana. Why? Because in that forensic situation, they rely on the game plan. You look at Shibelebele 1. First thing that you have to identify is that the boy is direct, he's quick, he's playing against Opri. I think the analysis with Orlando Pirates, the technical team, they planned against Oprim Diba. But credit Njobangisho to grant organization and communication, but not only communication, read the game, which is very important. Bagwazi you look anticipate that, hey, if Opri too high and this boy who penetrate the space, si shift ganjan is cover ganjan, how do we counter that, what Orlando Pirates is trying to do? But for me, when you look at the game model, the game plan, more especially in the first half, it was made by the 1v1 in midfield. And in my opinion, sometimes in midfield, in football, you need a pass that. I'm sorry to use that word. And Utebza is that kind of player. He's that kind of player. Because Mr. Nkewu, sometimes if the technical doesn't work, you need to fight. And that's what I saw. For me,
I suppose even with Paris, that was what they were looking at for Mbata.
Yeah.
Nduli can be pretty, Mbule can be pretty, but you need your own bastard. Someone who's going to break things down, someone also Pazamesa.
Mr. Nkewu, you need a bastard in midfield. You need someone Ozola. The best way to describe it is you need a fighter. And for me today, about teams that they were willing to fight. Marcelo Allende was willing to go into a fight. One thing that I realized is that Utito was dropping too deep, but one thing that I saw in his eyes is that he's ready for a fight. Was Umbata ready for a fight? He was ready for a fight, but I think Kushawi match fitness. Unduli as well.
I think just to supplement the point that you're making, Tito deliberately kicked Utebza. I'm not making a meal out of that. I'm just to supplement what you're saying, that there was a battle in that midfield that people might not notice, which was to say, It was in the second half.
Yeah.
In the halftime team talk, they told him, look, you're going to have to help us there.
Yeah.
And one of the ways he did was that I don't think he intended to injure
Kick him.
him,
Yeah.
but he almost injured him. And it could have been a red card, really. It shows or it illustrates what you're saying, that there was a deep fight in that midfield where everyone was expected to participate.
Mr. Nkeo, so can testify this. In such big games, none of us clearly can just discuss it in the changing room. You have to win the midfield battle. That's why that thing is shaped like a heart of the team. And for me, when I saw Tito Maswangai, because he realized that in Mamelodi Sundowns, they don't even feel like they're playing an away game. And that's the one biggest credit that you can give Mamelodi Sundowns, is that they went to Orlando Stadium and they played like Badlala Kuzo Zonke Stadium. They kept the ball, controlled the game, used the goalkeeper as an influence, build up from the back, used their midfielders to connect the defense. But the only thing that led to Mamelodi Sundowns, in my opinion, I agree, no Junior, is the front line. I spoke about it during the week that sometimes in midfield, you need as forwards, you need the first run, you need the second run to make things happen at times. But for me, what I realized in the Orlando Pirates midfield, Mamelodi Sundowns midfield, is that the one that was going to win the game was the one who was ready to fight. And in the first half, Mamelodi Sundowns won it. Firstly, on controlling the game. Secondly, by dominating the ball. Thirdly, by fighting in midfield.
But Orlando Pirates came to life. Let's look at what happened when Orlando Pirates came to life. I was disappointed when I saw that it was looking like it was going to be one-sided. I was so excited when they came back to life. What happened in the second half?
Yeah, going to inferiority complex when you're with the Orlando Pirates. I have to address before I can speak about the second half. The one thing that we all want to see as a country is Orlando Pirates playing every game the same. More especially when they're playing at home. Already, Makali game, you can see the inferior complex. They admitted that the Mamelodi Sundowns is better.
Now, this is an interesting place to go. I would like to go there with you.
Yeah.
Because you are the only person in this at iDiskiTV that I can kind of go with in a way that will make me happy.
Okay.
Orlando Pirates have an inferiority complex against Sundowns. All the finals that they've played, they've won because they've accepted Uguti, they are better than us, we will defend, right? That's what you mean.
Yes.
Uguti, they will, every man behind the ball. Not because Orlando Pirates is bigger than Sundowns,
100%.
in the country. Now, given that we always say Sundowns is the best team in the country, Pirates are the second best team in the country, does that not make sense? Uguti Pirates will say, we will kind of defend against you.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning it, but I'm trying to see it from the eye of the coaches. Rivero did that and he won finals against the Sundowns where he was playing every man behind the ball. He will have his moments and he will take his moments and he will win some matches. And today, that was the case as well, that we know you are better than us.
Yeah.
We will absorb, but we will have our moments.
We'll have our moments.
So, and also, is it that not consistent with the thing that we always talk about to say, Sundowns the best team in the country, Pirates second best team in the country? Is that not consistent?
It's very consistent, Mr. Nkeo. And I like, and for me, it's very clear. And Jorge Rivero emphasized this even last year, that you're competing against a point machine. The one thing that you respect about the Mamelodi Sundowns is the dominance in terms of position. They treat every game the same. They don't change their approach. And one thing that I identified in Orlando Pirates is that they respected that, but they had a game plan to it. They knew how to counter that, which was brilliant. Maybe the game plan of the coach did not work in the first half, but you can see, if you're watching the game, you can see that they identified where the weaknesses in Mamelodi Sundowns are. Firstly, it was to play 1v1 in midfield, but also Mamelodi Sundowns had benefits to that because they had to counter that. How did they counter that? They inverted to Sales. But the game plan in Pirates, you could see, we don't want them to play in midfield. We're going 1v1, we are going there for a fight. And how do we counter? We know that they don't have pace in terms of fit defense. And then we'll play players who are quicker. And there's a reason why.
Sibelebele was a huge weapon.
Not just to Sibelebele. Umahupa as well. In big games like this, he's a runner, but not just a runner, a willing runner. There's a difference between somebody who wants to work for the team and somebody who wants to do the team a favor. And Umahupa is a willing runner, a willing chaser. Ushibelebele as well doesn't get tired for nothing. He runs all of those actions. Our action work are very effective, very quick, very rapid. And the Orlando Pirates game plan, you could tell that the intelligence and the brain, they tried to bring Urile in the first half. Utito dropped a little bit deeper. Umbata bebaniki energy. Usipombule defensively back four. You have to also give credit to Umbogazi because Ution Hoto up and down on the left hand side. But to be honest, just to close it, this section, I just want to say that the Orlando Pirates understands where they are as a football club.
Yeah.
And they respect that. And for them to compete the Mamelodi Sundowns, they understand where their role and the role that they need to play in terms of game plan.
In order for us to be at 1-1 or win, like to win Nedbank Cup final, win MTN 8 final, win last season, some of the games against Sundowns, they are going to have to do it in a specific way. They can't be helter-skelter, open up against the Sundowns.
Pick your moments. And I have to land with this point, Mr. Nkeo. The difference between the two teams, in my opinion, from a squad auditing, this is why it's probably disappointing for Orlando Pirates, is that they're not too far from where Mamelodi Sundowns is. In my opinion, you look at both set of goalkeepers. Ronan Williams, Mr. Nkeo, is probably one of the best goalkeepers in our generation in terms of reading game, in terms of ball distribution. But I don't think he's a better shot stopper
yeah.
than Osipo China. You look at the defense, you can look at Tunda, you can look at Usesane, and then you look at the Mamelodi Sundowns defense, it's almost like the fullbacks. I think the difference, in my opinion,
literally our national team players on
100%.
both sides. Both the goalkeeper national team,
Yeah.
the other goalkeeper second in the national team, the centre backs national team playing,
centre backs.
the other centre backs on the other side national team, and if you even go to the midfield national team, and I'm sure that there will be positions where Sundowns is better than Pirates.
Yeah.
That's why they are number one. But to make the point that you're making is about. Pirates is not too far from
It's not too
Sundowns.
far, but there are two differences in my opinion.
Yeah.
And those two differences is where I want to land with this point. Is Tebogo Mokoena. He's a bastard. He's a bully, complete midfielder. Passing about right, dangerous in the air, aerial threat, presence. You know what I like, Mr. Nkeo? I was watching Liverpool yesterday. Sorry to take long, guys. I was watching Iketike. And when he came on and when he scored that goal, his celebration, you know what I said when I was watching it? I said character. This is what we need in South African football. Players that play with character, players that play with unbelievable belief in him. Tebza is that difference. Pirates don't have that player. Another difference, in my opinion, is Ikram Reyners. Because you can counter...
He's super clinical.
Super clinical
and
striker.
Orlando Pirates are messing around with their clinical striker. They're changing them. Umabasa, which is
Yes.
someone that you should be
Yes.
putting faith in for the whole season. They're changing him for this one, and they don't score as much goals as the Sundowns strikers.
The quantity, abai sprinkling quality a little bit. That's where they needed to identify. Though it's different. Because the Pirates team is not really far. And when you were watching the first half, and credit to the coach and the technical team at Pirates, because in the second half they came out differently. When you're watching the first half, the feeling you were getting is, it seems like there's three steps back.
There was a huge disappointment. That's why I'm so excited. We need to wrap it up.
Okay, sorry.
Next week is next week.
100%.
Football is a game of momentum. Ilele global momentum namhlanje. I think that, of course, realistically, the away goal says the momentum is with Sundowns.
Yeah.
But football is about momentum, and sometimes you can draw a match and feel like you've lost it, and sometimes you can draw a match and feel like you've won it.
Yeah.
And I think that it is true in Pirates' sense that the fact that they didn't lose this game and they came back and they scored will feel to them like a win. Of course, the feeling of a win is not the same thing as a win itself. And with Sundowns, they will feel like, oh my God, if Matthews taps that ball in, we are 2-0 up in the first half, we beat these guys. So I don't know where psychologically the momentum is. For the Pirates fans at the stadium, they will feel like, wow, at least we didn't lose to Sundowns and we came back, Mahopa hits the post and so on. So they will have many positives as well. To you, where is the momentum swinging between these two teams?
To be honest with you, Mr. Nkeo, Orlando Stadium plays a huge role in the performance, in the second half performance. Another thing that played a role in this game is the fact that they didn't want to accept losing 3 games in a row. But the feeling I was getting, I'm not going to speak as a fan, I'm going to speak as an expert, because this is what I felt inside when I was watching the game, is that Pirates don't have a chance. That's what I felt.
Based on the first
Based on the first half, I felt like they don't have a chance. And the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns went to Orlando Stadium and played their normal game is what impressed me. I thought that Orlando Pirates was going to put Mamelodi Sundowns extremely under pressure. And we've seen their games at Orlando. Sundowns is not comfortable at Orlando. Playing at Loftus is going to be a different ball game, Mr. Nkeo. It's going to be a different ball game, because the first thing that they have to identify is where are the spaces? Where are the spaces? And for me, I look at this and I think that the most positive fans that will leave Orlando Stadium probably should be the Sundowns fans. The Orlando Pirates fans...
Oh, the Sundowns fans will be disappointed that we had such a good first half. We thought we were so good against Pirates. Then Pirates came back. You see,
I don't analyze for results, Mr. Nkeo. For me, it's about the performance.
I get our job is completely different to the fans. And I also think that we're not getting into the heads of the players themselves as well. That these guys, as the Sundowns, they would have felt that at that halftime, if you go and watch our halftime videos, we were so convinced that Orlando Pirates, like the inferiority complex, Orlando Pirates, every man behind the ball, they're giving the game to Sundowns. That was what was happening. But the fact that they turned it around means that there's a momentum swing. Even though it's 1-1 and away goal means good for Sundowns, right? And that means Pirates have to score in Pitori. But so the momentum, I get what you're saying, with the Sundowns is at home, it's Pitori, and they will feel good. But it is also true that psychologically it might be possible that the Sundowns players will feel, damn, we were leading and we could have had
But it's the coach, in my opinion, Mr. Nkeo. Because for me, the coach, the subs are literally a coach. And I'm from last season, I think Junior runs with this as well, to say the best quality of a coach, in my opinion, the best quality of any centre back, of any midfielder, it's not the technical ability, it's the reading of the game. Football intelligence. For me, the coach who read the game commercial. And Nkulego, the one thing they got right, the Mamelodi Sundowns coach, is the starting lineup and the approach. But in my opinion, the substitute no read the game commercial because ukuleta abolunga na bayihlisa game. But also, it's very important to also mention that the team is dominant in position. The system works for them. And for me, the inferiority complex here, Orlando Pirates in the first half is the one that's not giving me confidence when they go to a Loftus. Because for me...
But that's not how they ended the game. And this is the thing about momentum, that game, that's what you're saying is a reflection of the first half.
Yeah.
And even other games, they've done that before, and they've ended up winning against Sundowns, even though they defend. But by the time that they end this game, and you're correct by saying that was the coach. Cardoso,
it's the coach.
He started taking players who are Asales for Lunga, for example, which is, of course, it kind of tells you that we are now defending as the Sundowns. They are defending. But Pirates, the fact that they came back and they turned it around, even as a coach at Orlando Pirates, you're doing a presentation on Wednesday this coming week, you could use that psychologically and tell them, we came back from them. We came back and we beat them in the second half.
Yeah, to be honest with you, other than that goal, I understand when you're talking about momentum, but there's a feeling inside of me.
Mahopa hits the post. They press you. Kekana makes a mistake. Mahopa 1v1 with the keeper. He doesn't score that.
I don't want
They will look at some moments in Paris and they will think to themselves that, okay, we could have had, like, we won the second half.
Mr. Nkeo, to be honest with you, I really want to agree with you, but there's something inside of me that's not agreeing with the fact that Orlando Pirates had momentum. I feel that it's more, I'm probably the one person who had more belief that Pirates can do something this season. But for me, if I'm being honest with you, the tactical decisions that the coach made with Orlando Sundowns,
Cardoso
for me,
him in the game, okay.
Giving the game, in my opinion, because Opri, in my opinion, had one of the best games as a left back. In terms of recover, in terms of on the ball, in terms of countering, whatever they do, Orlando Pirates. Nabokran, you take him, you put him on the other side of the wing. For me, that was the downside in Mamelodi Sundowns, because defensively we looked really solid. Nkulego, you don't change what's not broken. As coaches, we know.
We've ventilated. Justice.
Hey, we've got a lot to talk about you and I.
Justice to finish. Now let's Springboks, it's not 22s, Betty Wallapes, this is Pangos, Australia, there's Sando Betos, the British and Irish Lions. Sithetha ngebhola apha siyaphosa ngomdlalo obalulekileyo. Umkhokheli usiya Kolisi udlala kwa-8. Namhlanje wasenathi inhlaba kanye nayo uJasmine usebhenchini naba no-Oxen chair funding bebaleka pha kuthena uKwaga Smith unumber 20 ekwi-first half. Loo nto ithetha loba ukho umuntu ofumene umonzakalo kwisiqingatha sokuqala. I'm doing running commentary rugby. If someone is wearing number 20 in the first half, it means that they've had to make a substitution because the numbers are from 1 to 15 and Kwaga Smith is already there. So yeah, masibulele kubantu bakuthi ke ngokusibukela ni subscribe ningalibali. Sayidinga ezo subscribe selamba funda. For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niyazi bafethu, amakhosi for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiskiTV.